Shortness of breath can be a problem, a real problem with COVID-19. Now, if you can't finish a short sentence, or if your breathing suddenly worsens within an hour or so, please seek medical advice immediately. Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm making this video in response to many of your requests from India and from Brazil for exercises, for breathing exercises and exercises to cope with shortness of breath during this current pandemic. Now, if you have medical advice already, please follow that advice. Otherwise, what I'm about to teach you is deep breathing exercises and the best positions for increasing air into your lungs if you're suffering from COVID-19. You'll also find translations for this video in the closed captions below in Hindi, in Urdu, and also too in Spanish, if that will help you with your recovery as well. Now, we're going to start out with deep breathing exercises, and I'm going to take you through this fairly slowly. When you start your deep breathing exercises, don't do them lying flat. So if you're lying flat down on the bed, it makes it very difficult to breathe. Try to elevate yourself either in sitting or on a raised bed. And I'm going to be showing you, and I'll also have in my app that you can see above, some links to some bed risers and wedges that might help you to actually elevate the bed. If you can't access bed risers, you can even use a block of wood or a cement block to lift up the bed. Ideally, the bed should be raised up between 30 to 60 degrees. So you should be lifted to actually do these exercises. All right, let's start the exercises now. First of all, with the person raised or yourself raised, bring your hands up around this part of your rib cage. Sit tall if you can and relax your shoulders and chest down. So we're going to try just 2 relaxed breaths for starters, just slow and steady, normal breaths in through the nose and out through the nose and mouth. Just a slow breath. Here we go. Breathing in and let it go. And again, just a regular breath. Control your breathing, breathing in and allow the air to release slowly. Now we're going to start with some deeper breaths. I'm going to take you through 3 deeper breaths. Just do what you can do. If you start to feel dizzy or lightheaded, stop straight away. Let's see how we go with these 2 exercises. So bringing your hands here, this is where the air exchange happens here. So we like to expand this area. So if you're with someone, you could put your hands around their chest to help them expand this area. If this is just you watching the video doing the exercises, you can place your hands here too. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and allow your hands to expand out and then come back down. Now, see if you can take it a little bit slower if you can. If you're short of breath, you might not be able to. Let's go again. Breathe into here, breathing in through the nose. And let the air out slowly. Good. We've got one more time if you can do this. Take it slow and steady, breathing in and let the air out slowly. Obviously, if you can hold that breath a little bit longer, then please do so. That's a good thing to do. Try to do 3 to 5 of those exercises every hour in your upright position. But I'm also now going to show you the best positions for increasing air into your lungs. And we're going to start first of all with a seated position. So if you're sitting in a chair, if you lean forward with your forearms on your thighs, that will help you. And you can also combine this with the deep breathing exercises I just showed you. You might also like to cup your chin in your hands like this, and you could breathe in that position too. Obviously, I'm sitting over the side of a bed. You'd have your feet on the ground and you'd be breathing in that manner. So that's 2 of your sitting positions that you can start straight away. Let's now talk about a 3rd sitting position that you can also use. So if you're sitting, another nice position to relieve shortness of breath is sitting and leaning forward. Now you can raise your elbows up over a pillow or a couple of pillows and put your head to the side and lean forward in that position. So you might find that a little bit higher. I can feel in this position I should be a little bit higher on this bed to lean forward, and that can also relieve shortness of breath. Now, if you're caught short of breath standing, if you stand up and lean forward, you can use a bent knee position or a lunge position like this with your hands braced firmly on a kitchen bench, and this will also help to breathe. By fixing your hands, it helps to open up the chest. So you'll find that leaning forward and holding on to something and practicing the deep breathing exercises that I just showed you can help you relieve shortness of breath if you're suffering from that symptom with COVID-19. Now I'd like to take you through a lying down positioning routine that you can use during the course of the day for your breathing. Ideally, you should be changing your breathing position, your resting position, every 1 to 2 hours if you can. So try not to stay in the same position, and definitely don't lie down flat on your back unless you've had medical advice to do so. Now, this is the way we start. We start lying on your tummy so long as you haven't eaten in the last half an hour, or that you're not vomiting or feeling nauseous or unwell. And you must also make sure that you can actually get in and out of this position yourself. Please don't position anyone in this position if they can't get in and out of this position themselves. And basically, you use a pillow underneath your hips and you lie down. So we're going to come into lying down, over, and in that position. Bring one arm up, or both arms up if you can. And you can see I've got one leg bent out to the side, and your head can come down to the side. Now, I could use a folded cloth under my head in that position, and this helps to get air into the back parts of the lungs, in the bases there. So it's a really useful position with COVID-19. You could stay in that position for 1 to 2 hours if that feels tolerable. Then what you do is you lie onto your right side. So this is where I'm going to need an extra pillow. So coming onto the right side, pillow between the legs, a pillow for the upper body, and also a pillow for the head. So that's my right side, again, for 1 to 2 hours. Okay, and then we come over onto the back. So coming on your back to rest, this is where you'll need your wedge. Remember that we're only lying on our backs elevated, or this is where you'll need to raise the bed. And you can then be resting in this position, again, for 1 to 2 hours. You might find that bringing your hands over, raising your hands there is comfortable for you as well. So we've gone from our tummy to our right side. Now we need to go over onto our backs, and now we need to go onto the left side. So we're going onto the left side now. Again, the pillow between the legs, and I would move the wedge, which is all a bit tricky here at the moment. And then coming down into that left side lying position. And then finally, to finish off that little routine, you'd come back into lying onto your tummy prone. So you can see we've gone tummy, right side, onto the back with the bed raised, left side back down flat again, and then we finished off there. You could be then coming back onto prone or lying on your tummy. So that's a lot we've gone through, isn't it? We've talked about your deep breathing exercises and the importance of the 3 to 5 slow deep breaths here, not using the chest, but breathing into your belly. We've also talked about some alternative positions you can use. Sitting, leaning forward, and also to standing, resting on something. And finally, I've taken you through a little guided routine that you can do lying down on the bed to increase the air entry into your lungs. Finally, I'll just mention the importance of a pulse oximeter. So you can access pulse oximeters, wedges. If you get my app, you can see my recommendations below this video in the app. And a pulse oximeter is a little device that fits on the finger, and it measures how much oxygen is in your blood. These are inexpensive little devices and they're very useful. When you're changing position, your oxygen levels shouldn't decrease, and you must monitor the person for that first 15 minutes each time they change position. If they become short of breath, move out of that position straight away. So if the oxygen saturation levels drop below 92%, then that is a medical emergency and go to the hospital. So if you can't breathe during a short sentence, or if you notice that your oxygen levels, you're suddenly getting very short of breath within an hour, or your oxygen saturation levels drop below 92%, that's the sign to get medical help straight away. So I really hope this information helps you wherever you are managing your COVID symptoms. I'd really appreciate it if this video helps you, if you could give it a like below, because then YouTube will actually notice that people are liking the video and will recommend it to other people who are also suffering the same thing. So thank you very much for watching today. I really wish you all the best with your recovery. Bye for now.